6:30 now. A dangerous legal loophole putting domestic violence survivors in harm's way is finally closing in Illinois.
This morning, we're taking a deeper look at a newly signed law in Illinois. It targets a critical gap in protection orders that advocates say has left local survivors unprotected and exposed. WGEN's Austin Johnson talked with advocates at Quinata. He joins us live this morning outside the Quincy Police Department. And Austin, how does this loophole work?
Well, Dylan, it all comes down to a critical gap in paperwork. Right now, a survivor can get the police involved, go to a judge, and even secure that emergency protection of order. But the danger created by current law happens at the very moment they are granted a final permanent order. Under current Illinois law, the moment a judge issues a final or plenary order, the emergency order automatically expires. But that new final order is not enforceable by law enforcement until the abuser is actually served with the physical papers. That process can take weeks, sometimes months, if an abuser evades police. During that exact window, survivors are left without any active legal protection. Jennifer Vansel with Quincy's domestic violence shelter Quinata says she has seen this gap exploited right here in Adams County.
It scares me for those victims because that loophole hasn't closed. So if there is that remaining gap, even if it's a month, a week, the perpetrators have been served, that means our victims are put at harm. And we want perpetrators held accountable for their actions.
Now, Senate Bill 3044 is this bill aimed at closing that gap. Starting in January of 2028, emergency orders of protection will remain fully enforceable until the abuser is officially served with the final order. And guys, that is a big deal. In a statement, Quincy Police Chief Michael Tyler tells me the Quincy Police Department supports efforts that strengthen protections for survivors of domestic violence and help ensure their safety throughout the legal process. But guys, this new law will ultimately ensure that survivors have uninterrupted, seamless protection from the courtroom here to the streets. But for now, reporting here live in Quincy, Austin Johnson, WGEN News.
Austin, thank you. That measure passed both chambers with unanimous support, and it is one of 3 new laws signed this month to expand protections for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault in Illinois.